and you don't have to get on a plane. Like we're so much more productive now that everything is officially online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Decades in the UK. Yeah, we got people worldwide. Yeah, Texas Hill
Yeah.
Country, Lori. And then William loves Vancouver. Vancouver is beautiful.
It is. Yeah. It's I love the outdoors. I love the amount of snow we get is just right. Like it's not like snowing throughout the winter season, but we get enough snow for it to be fun. Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to jump in. So let's officially begin here for this week's live training. Like I said, as Joey mentioned, if you are in one of our other streaming platforms, we are live here on Zoom. But as Joey mentioned, Ritu, really excited to have you aboard. I know both Joey and I from speaking at some other events, both of us along with you, has been great. And then really this year, before we had a chance to really meet you, we were kind of tracking you because you were, I think you won the hackathon contest, I think, or was it best speaker for the $1 billion seller summit, the online? Yeah, which that's a huge deal because those are, those are some of the best minds in the space, and super competitive stuff. So for everyone here, just we'll hand it over to but really knows what she's talking about. There's a reason why Amazon asked her to come on stage at the biggest event Amazon runs all year. And really excited. You got some great insight and stuff that's really current as well too. So with that, Ritu, I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, that sounds great. So, I'm just going to share my screen, and maybe before that, I might ask just a few questions in terms of, search query performance and brand analytics. How many people here actually know this stuff? Like, do you guys know what search query performance is? Have you used it? I'm just curious. Maybe you can just type in the chat if you have used search query performance at all. If you're familiar with brand analytics is, where it's located and stuff like that. And then we'll go into some specifics of, how you can use these reports because they're like amazing. And I can totally understand that some of you might not even be selling yet. And so it's totally fine to just know that this stuff exists. For you to take advantage of when you're ready, right? So if you've used search query performance, just type in the chat. I'll just be keeping an eye on it. But I don't see anyone typing anything. So I think not yet. Okay. PPC scares me. Okay. Never used it, but yeah, PPC AdWords. Okay, no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, trying to get to that point. Okay, just getting started. Okay, that's good to know. So I guess let me start by explaining what brand analytics is, and also like what is search query performance, and then we'll look at some case studies of like how you can use this information for Amazon, right? So I guess the first thing to know is that the search query performance report, it's a new report from Amazon. And what it is that it has a lot of organic data on your products. So it will give you the performance of the top 1,000 search queries that led customers to your brand. So for example, if you're selling a makeup brand and let's say the search term is makeup or lip liner or whatever, those search terms, how do you know that those are actually converting? Which means when people type those words into the search bar, how do you know that that information is actually resulting in your listings showing up either through sponsored product ads or as an organic listing? How do you know that? Well, this is that report that tells you that this is how things played out. People typed this and then they found your product. Then they added your product to the cart and then they purchased. So there's a funnel there that Amazon actually gives you information about, which is really, really interesting. And it's also straight from Amazon. So there's no like guesswork. It's not like scraping or anything. It's not based on some estimates. It's the real deal, right? So that's why this is a very interesting and important report that everybody who's selling on Amazon should be paying attention to. And then, the moment you start having more than one ASIN, like you have 5 ASINs, 10 ASINs, then Amazon can also give you the same information per ASIN. So for every single ASIN, they will tell you what was typed in the search bar and what your shoppers did. Of course, it's aggregate numbers for those search queries, but it is still very valuable information. Then I also mentioned that it gives you data split across the 4 stages of the funnel. And so just to recap for those of you who aren't familiar with how this is, how it plays out, there's 4 stages, which is basically impressions. Then you have clicks, and then you have cart ads, and then you have purchases. That's basically the journey a buyer takes, but it's kind of correlated with awareness, consideration, and purchase. Basically, those are the correlations between these stages of the funnel and that you can actually measure. So everything on Amazon is or can be traced back to data. We might think that we're in the business of selling products or selling a certain type of product, but actually we're in the business of leveraging data. That's it. Like, why do you pick one product over the other? It's because data is telling you to, right? Data is telling you that this is an area that's popular. This is an area that a lot of people search. This is a niche area that not a lot of competition exists. All this is coming from data, which is why any kind of data-based approach is likely to win on Amazon rather than a more kind of haphazard view of like, okay, I want to sell this product, so I'm going to sell this product. That's not going to work, right? So at every stage, we as e-commerce professionals, we need to be looking at data, and we need to be finding out where we can leverage that data and how we can figure out whether to continue doing what we're doing or to pull back and try something different. So it all boils down to data, which is what this search term report is, or search query performance report is really, really good at giving us. Now, why is this a game changer and why am I sharing this today? It's because this is never before seen search volume data. It has search volume data, which is coming straight from Amazon. Now, a lot of you might know or have used Helium 10, Jungle Scout, other tools like that tell you how many people are searching for this product in a month, right? Now, that's really important because if the number of searches is limited, then you don't have a good chance at success. You need to have enough keywords or enough searches for certain words so that you can bet on them, because if there is enough search volume, then you know that your products have a chance of showing up, right? So this information is now being delivered right within your search query performance report, and it's called search volume. It's just, that's the data that they give you. It's coming straight from Amazon's own data, right? Not scraping. Another thing that this report tells you is the top 10 competitors for each search term, which is amazing because guess what? You can use that information to target those competitors. For example, if you're, again, let's just take the example of makeup. Let's say the word makeup has, the top 10 competitors, exactly which those top 10 ASINs are. Then you can analyze them and you can find out if there is any opportunity to show your ads on their pages. How cool is that, right? That's an amazing ability that Amazon actually provides us, because they tell us, hey, if you want to target an ASIN, just put it as a target and then your ads will show up on their pages. Now, if this target is a strong competitor, then you have to be a little conservative in the way you bid. You don't want to bid too high, because there's a very high likelihood that those conversions aren't going to you. They will probably, those people who are on those pages, on competitor pages, are probably going to buy from them because they have a better offer. Maybe they have thousands of reviews. Maybe they're a well-known brand. So that information actually tells you whether you have a better offer than them or a worse offer than them. So wherever you can find out that there's a better offer, meaning your offer is better than these competitors, let's say they have a lower review rating than yours. Let's say they have fewer reviews than you, or you have a better price point than them, or you have some great coupons running that makes your offer more attractive to shoppers. Then you can basically go ahead with confidence and start targeting those pages and have your ads show up on those pages, which then makes your shoppers more likely to notice you and then hop over to your funnel. And that's how you're able to draw them in, and you can probably impact the conversion. So that's the second thing, because this is really cool that by keyword, by every single search term or keyword in that list, you can find out 10 competitors. Every single search term has 10 competitors that you can leverage. And then another kind of interesting thing that this report tells you is the impact of other factors like shipping days, like whether it was a 1-day shipping, a 2-day shipping, or same-day shipping, things like that. You can also find out competitor price points. What's the average price for that keyword? Let's say the word makeup again. The average price for products that are selling against that keyword is, let's say, $25, right? And your product is, let's say, $60, then you know that you have a problem. Whereas if it's the other way around, if the average price point is, let's say, 40 or 50, and you're also in that same ballpark, then you have a better chance of going after that keyword with confidence. So it's all about looking data in different ways to find out whether you have a chance or you don't have a chance. And that's how you can tweak your strategy a little bit based on what you're seeing in the numbers. Now, again, this report gives you a lot of data, but and you can download it for like a particular week. You can go after certain months, you can go after certain quarters and find out exactly what happened in terms of like the funnel, like how many clicks each search query got, or how many cart ads each query got, and so on. So there's a lot of data in here that's very interesting. You can download this. You can either download a simple view or a comprehensive view, which is like all the data. You can also look at Amazon's choice badges. You can also look at funnel outliers, which basically means your best and your worst in a smaller subset. So there's a lot of data that you can download and analyze, right? Now let's look at some of the use cases of the search query performance report, and I have 5 for you today. So the first one is to do a comparison of the search query performance reported list of keywords and your own list of keywords that you're advertising, because there's got to be some gaps there that you can kind of fill, right? If search query performance from Amazon is saying, hey, your product is relevant for these keywords, and you don't have those keywords being advertised, then there's an opportunity loss. You always want to be advertising and reinforcing the words that Amazon already thinks you are relevant for, because otherwise you never get the flywheel going. So the flywheel, just to summarize the idea of the flywheel, is that whatever is happening on the organic side and whatever is happening on the PPC side need to reinforce each other. So words that you're strong in organically, you want to bid on them through ads. Words that you're strong in on the advertising side, you want to add them to your listing somewhere. Either you put them in the back end, you put them prominently in one of the bullet points, or maybe even the title. If you see data telling you to do certain things, try to reinforce that flywheel effect by closing the gap on organic versus advertising information. So basically that's the lookup, right? Now, let me tell you one fun thing that we did with this, just a random product that we picked up. So this is a palm leaf compostable plates brand. This was their sponsored brand ad, right? As you can see here, this title, actually, I want to ask everyone whether you think this title is a good one or it's okay. If you can just start typing in the chat here. Let's say my keyword was, disposable plates or compostable plates or something like that. In that case, a title like this, made from plants, made for all, would this be appealing, not appealing? Would you as a consumer want to click on it or not? So that's the question we asked, like, how good is this? And the conclusion was that it is okay. It isn't the best title because of the fact that it is too broad. It is just a very glorious kind of statement. It's made for all. What does that mean, made for all? So what happens is that as you look at reports like the search query performance report, you start to get data on specifics, not broad. Like you get exactly to what people search for on Amazon. You get to know their behavior. So you want to use that behavior. And the best way to do that is to reinforce it by showing it back to them, right? Someone said empty claim, which is true. This sounds like an empty claim, and it's not connected to the keyword that was typed in, right? So the better way of going about it is that you actually you anticipate the keywords that people are going to type, and then you embed those very keywords right into your sponsored brand ad. And you can actually now do this very easily with the help of ChatGPT. So I'm going to show you how we help this brand go from this to another. Actually, let me show you okay. This is the process, but let me show you how we transform the headline into something better, right? Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you use your search query performance gap analysis, or let's say you don't have search query performance right now. You just have access to maybe Helium 10 or some list of keywords. Let's say you have 150 keywords and you have to create a compelling sponsored brand headline ad copy. First of all, you don't want to create just one headline ad. You want to create many. That's a mistake that a lot of people make. They just put one very generic, broad, super broad headline ad and waste the opportunity of getting that amazing placement that you get at the very top of the search results page. So sponsored brand headline ads, you need to treat them a little bit differently from what you've been maybe even taught or the way you do it, because sponsored brand headline ads can actually act as a lower funnel or bottom of funnel conversion tool if you use it right. So the way to use that is you start with your search query performance gap analysis or any other tool that gives you a list of keywords. Now you want to ask ChatGPT to analyze this list of keywords and group them into very closely related topics. Right. So, we did this for the brand that I was showing you. So it comes up with all kinds of keywords like party plates, bamboo plates, disposable plates, sustainable plates, all kinds of things, wedding plates, even a lot of topics. So ChatGPT is very good with language, of course, and it can do a very good job of, containing keyword groupings in a way that you can now look at them and say, okay, as a second prompt, you can say, now generate sponsored brand headline ads, and this copy that you create needs to include one of the keywords in that group or a very close variant of it. So you've got two things happening. First, you've made sure that the right keywords and the right headline are together, like they're together, right? And then you want to reinforce that message of, hey, you typed this word in and I have something right just for you, because my ad is speaking your language. It's saying back to you what you said to me in the search. And then that's how you can basically create the most amazing, high converting headline ads. And you can do it very quickly with the help of ChatGPT. So here is how I went about it. So it created many clusters. When I said, here's the list, you can actually upload a list of keywords now to ChatGPT because it has an upload button. So you can download the list from somewhere else and then upload it here. So it created these clusters, right? So look at this cluster 2. It says disposable plates for parties and weddings. And now it's found all these words that are related to this particular grouping of words, right? So party plates, disposable plates, wedding plates, and so on. So now the second part of the prompt was, come up with a headline for this. And I told it between 30 and 50 characters. So its headline was Eco Chic, Party Plates, and More. Now there's many different variations of this that it created, but I was like, okay, this looks okay because it is talking to the audience that is interested in Eco Chic, and it's talking about, it has the word party plates, and that's what a lot of these things are. They're party plates. And then the More gives you an opportunity to, appeal to a little bit of a broader, need. But it starts with, connecting with the audience. And that's how you can get much more kind of specific with your ad copy. And you can also do this in bulk if you use like a ChatGPT embedded Google Sheet. In that case, you can use the same list of keywords and simply drag down the formula for converting that input list into an output headline, and just drag it down, and it creates multiple sponsored brand headline ads for you very specifically. This whole process can take only like 15 to 20 minutes if you do it in this sequence. So that's how I would use my search query performance or any other source, combine data. And this is the final product. Here's another one that came up, disposable and sustainable party plates. So very specific. And the thing is, this image did not exist. We created it with, guess what? With Midjourney. This was created by just giving Midjourney a few prompts. And we said we want like a sustainable table that has like bamboo elements, and palm leaf plates, round palm leaf plates. And so it did that, right? And this was created by AI. So pretty cool, huh? So this is something that you can also use. Midjourney, I don't know if you guys are using Midjourney or Dolly or Canva AI. I don't know if you guys have. If you haven't, definitely check it out, because there's so much that you can do with all of these tools that are now available to us, relatively cheap or even free at in many cases. All right. Okay. Next, let's talk about another application of the search query performance report. So this is basically trying to figure out what is your highest value search term in dollar amounts, which is another spin on trying to figure out which keyword is more important to you, right? And for those who have access to search query performance, what I would encourage you to do is to download monthly data. So let's say here I have a pivot table where I have October, November, December of last year, and I'm going all the way to May. I have each of those search query performance reports downloaded, and then I stitch them together. How do you stitch them together? You just append them to the same Google Sheet or Excel, whatever you prefer. Because guess what? When you download this report from Amazon, it actually adds an extra column that tells you the date or the month that this report is for, which automatically makes this easy to stitch together, because now you have a time series data source. A time series data source basically includes the time or the date for which that data is being reported. And so once you have that, then you can do interesting things like creating trend graphs, or like in this case, you can create a pivot table where you're pivoting on the search query, and then each of these columns is just the different month. So just stay with me here. What I've done is I have all the search queries on the rows, and in the columns, I have all these dates. And in the values, basically, I have a calculated field, which is a multiplication of how many purchases I got from that search term and my product's price point. So just multiply the two. You know how many purchases you got, you know what your price point is. It's in the same report, by the way. Both these things are in the same report that you download. Multiply them. Now what do you see? You can see search query number 1 had 23,000 in sales in the month of October. And then in December, it went up to 51,000. And then in May here, it came down to 16,000. So the season clearly disappeared, or it kind of went up and down. And you can see the trend here. I've created these things called spark lines. They can be created very easily in Google Sheets. Just say equal spark line and then give the whole row. It can just create like quick little bar graphs right inside a cell, which is kind of cool. So this one is worth 23,000 in October. Look at this last one here, search query number 26. It only got me $1,000. So which one is more valuable? Obviously this one, right? No matter what the search volume, no matter what anything else, the fact that this keyword is bringing me more dollars makes this an important keyword for me. So this is something that a lot of people maybe overlook. They just go after search volume and say, oh, this is the highest search volume keyword, so let me go after this. No, your data is telling you that a certain keyword is more relevant for your product. And so use that. And that's how you can learn to see the highest value in terms of dollars, right? That's the second kind of use case of using the search query performance report. This is something that I briefly touched upon, but I wanted to reemphasize it. This is the idea that, time series is always a lot more valuable than snapshots. What is a snapshot? It is when you go to Amazon and request a report for a fixed time period. It's just for that fixed time period. Now, the moment you download that report, its value is diminished because, data is moving, right? Data is already moved ahead. But when you connect many data time ranges into a time series, when you start to kind of get everything into a single place where you can examine it based on dates, then you have a time series, which you can easily convert yourself. Like a VA can help you to do this, convert your snapshots into time series. The advantages of time series is that you can do continuous data analysis. Basically, you can see how things trended rather than how things are or were, right? Drill downs, you can do drill downs into different aspects of that data. You can look at trends. You can combine data. Let's say you have two data sources and both of them are on time series. The baseline is on a time series. You can combine them now, and then you can see how when this changed, what else changed. To give you an example, let's say you downloaded your business report for every month over month. Now you stitch them together with the time. And now let's say you want to see your buy box changes over time. How did the buy box trend over time? And then on the same graph, you can put your sales data and say, what happened when my buy box changed? Or you could put your conversion rate data on the same timeline and see how buy box changes might have impacted conversion rates or sales and so on. So it becomes really easy then to combine data because the common factor between those two data series is time, right? There's other benefits to doing time series, but I really love time series. In fact, most of our analysis happens on time series. Third, let's talk about another interesting and important thing that you can learn from the search query performance report, and this is your search volume trend. So what is the search volume trend? It's how it sounds. For every single search term that you get out of your search query performance, you can do a month-over-month analysis to see whether the volume of that keyword has changed at all. And this happens quite a bit, guys, because what happens is that sometimes Amazon changes their algorithm. So recently this happened I think it was in July or August when they, actually it was in July. They rearranged the autocomplete in the search bar. You know how when you start typing, let's say you start typing makeup, and then before you've completed it, they've auto-populated the completion, right? And so a lot of shoppers will simply hit tab and get that whole thing. And then that becomes your search term, right? That becomes the thing that they searched. So they actually changed the autocomplete sequence recently, which made the volume of data shift from certain keywords to certain other keywords. Now, some of our clients were very strong on some of the keywords, but they weren't as strong on the new autocomplete words. And so they lost a lot of sales. And we were like, oh, what happened? Like, how this was a strong word. How did they lose their search volume overnight? Well, it was because the algorithm changed, and we could spot that through the search query performance month-over-month report. What we spotted was that a search term that had 80,000 searches 2 months ago was now down to 16,000 searches, which is a huge drop. And so when search volume drops for certain words, it just means that you're not going to get enough impressions. And if you don't get enough impressions, likelihood of getting fewer clicks and fewer sales, therefore. So looking at month-over-month search volume changes like this, and then making sure that you have some sort of formatting so that you can see the deepest color here is showing the highest search volume. So if it changes, then you can notice it visually very quickly. So that's another use case of using the search query performance report. This, by the way, is a Looker Studio report. I don't know if you guys use Looker Studio. We use it heavily for a lot of our analysis, and we simply kind of connect Looker Studio to, let's say, Google Sheets or to something else, another source of data, and we can do this analysis there. Okay, next, let's talk about how the search query performance can be used for measuring funnel performance. So like I said in the beginning, the funnel looks like this. You have impressions at the top, then you have clicks. Within clicks, you have add to carts, and then you have purchases. So obviously, you're going to have the fewest number of purchases and the most number of impressions, right? However, you can also see where your share of impressions is dropping off more significantly than some other measure. So just to explain that a little bit more, let's say you have a fair share of impressions. Let's say you get 50, I'm just taking an extreme example. Let's say 50% of all the impressions that are there go to your brand somehow, right? So 50, it's just a simplistic example. And then of those 50% impressions, only 2% people will click on your ad or your listing. That's a huge drop, right? 50% of the people were shown your ad, only 2% of them actually clicked on your ad. That's a huge drop in the funnel, right? So your funnel suddenly goes from that to that, very slim suddenly. You don't want that. You want to find those keywords that have that maintain a healthy proportion of the funnel. We know that it's going to drop, but how quickly it drops, is the idea, right? We want to find out the percentages by which it drops through the funnel. So here's a way to look at it in the form of a pivot table, right? So if you know me, you know that I love data and I like to look at data and try to figure out how we can use it best to kind of improve our business outcomes. So if you look at this, I have these are the four actually search volume is just for information, that it just tells you that this is the search volume of this query. I have impression share, I have click share, and I have purchase share, which means of all the impressions that were out there, 33% of those impressions came to my brand. Of all the clicks that I had, 15% of those clicks came to me. And then of all the purchases that were to be had, 21% of those conversions or purchases came to me, right? So the first one is a typical example of a strong funnel where more people as a ratio are willing to buy your product through that search term versus some weak funnel like this one. 19% of people saw your product, 25% of those clicked on your product, and no one bought your product. This is a weak term, right? So this is how you kind of separate out weak terms from strong terms by analyzing the funnel and seeing if you have a chance to kind of dominate any words or to not push those words too strongly in your ads, because that's where through ads is where you lose money or gain some extra market share. So all this information is going to guide us to find the right words that we can then use through ads, right? So again, this funnel performance measurement, this is kind of interesting and cool, and it's great that Amazon is giving us this information. Okay, then, okay, so someone asked a question, those terms that have zero, this one, would you use negative keywords? Okay, so negative keywords is a whole nother topic, and I'd love to talk about it in more detail, maybe at a different occasion. But just to say it, you don't want to negate something unless it is a highly irrelevant word. This being a weak funnel just means that you want to bid lower than something that you are strong in. When you're strong in something, then you can actually go with confidence and bid higher because you know everything is going in your favor. Whereas basically the data is showing you, statistics is showing you that you're going in a positive direction. So take advantage of that. And when you don't see that strength, you see something weak, you just bid lower. Optimization is the main way of controlling stuff, here. Now, if it's a completely irrelevant words, definitely go ahead and negate it. That's fine. All right, now let's go to the fifth kind of use case of the search query performance report. Now, I mentioned in the beginning that every search term has 10 competitors that Amazon is willing to share with us, which is very cool, I think, right? 10 competitors, that's a whole lot. So this is how it looks. You start with the ASIN view of search query performance, because the search query performance has two entry points. It has brand view and it has ASIN view. So you want to go down the ASIN path and then pick one of your ASINs so that you can find out what your relevant search terms are. And then you click on one of the search terms and then you find these 10 competitors for that search term. So these are the 10 search terms. 10 competitors for that search term. They even give you the ASIN, so you can check them out. You can click on them and then you can see what product is it. Is it similar to yours, different from yours? It's probably going to be very similar because they're winning that same search term. It also tells you the brand. It tells you how many, what the other brand names are. That's a lot of good information right there. Now, this is what you can find. In addition, you can find their price median, right? So look at the range here. It's going from $4.99 to all the way to $16.95. That's a huge gap, right? This guy is likely to have a pretty good click share. And it does. Look at this. Click share. These guys have 26% of the click share because people are looking for cheap products, right? And especially when they think, oh, wow, this is cheap, click. That's how they go into those funnels because of the price. And on the other hand, this $16 product, look at the click share, only 2.63%, right? So price has a big role to play on Amazon. We all know that, right? In many cases, it feels like a race to the bottom, but that's how it is. This is the nature of the game. You've got to know where your strength lies, because otherwise everything is a race to the bottom, right? That's why we're doing all this, so that you guys know that there's ways to not feel hopeless about the situation. If you're smart with data, if you're smart with looking for data in the right places, then you have a much better chance of success on Amazon than if you didn't, right? So I would look at the price here to see am I even in this game at all, in this search terms game at all, or should I go for a different search term that has all more or less similar price range to what I'm selling and so on, because they give you all this information of how many impressions they got, you got, what was the impression share, and how many clicks went to which one, what the click share was, which is really, really cool information. Another thing you can do is you can compare your brand's median price for that search query to the overall median price for that query. So look at this first one. It shows that my brand's median price is $119, right? Whereas the price median for across Amazon for that search query is only $50. So I have a problem here, right? Because I'm either overpriced or this is not the right word for me. I have to pick words that are more within my reach, where I'm not like completely out of the ballpark. So I guess what I want to say here is that looking at all this data, there's many different ways to combine it. You can combine this information with the previous funnel information to find out where your strengths lie, and then double down on your strengths and hold back on going strong on words that look attractive and look good, but you don't have a chance there. So you better off not going there. Now, just to kind of wrap up, but give you a few more bonus tips towards the end, because it is Q4 coming up, and you want to do certain things to make sure that you have a better chance at success. I would say the first thing to know for Q4 is whether you have a giftable product or not, because Q4 is all about gifts and deals and that kind of stuff. So what are the events coming up in Q4? Number one, you're going to have the second Prime Day. It's going to be somewhere in October. We know that, right? Amazon has already told us there is a second Prime Day coming up. Then you have Turkey 5, which is end of November. And then you have the Christmas holidays and so on. So for Prime Day coming up, for those of you who've done Prime Day in the past, I just want to say that my number one tip for you is that if you have a giftable product or an impulse buy type of product that people will say, oh, that's a great deal, let me get it, either for myself or for a gift or whatever. But on Prime Day, the one thing that makes everything stand out for you is running a deal. Prime Day is all about deals. There's nothing else that people want on that day other than deals. So if you're not running a deal or not planning to run on deals, please don't engage in aggressive advertising. It's going to ruin, it's going to take, it's basically going to empty your balance. It's best to stay away from advertising heavily when you know that you're not planning to run a deal and you don't have an impulse buy and, it's not the season for it or whatever. It's not a good fit. So in that case, you're better off, having a low profile. And what do I mean by that? Just keep your budgets very, very low. We do this for our agency clients who don't have any of those check boxes ticked. We just say, okay, you guys are not participating in Prime Day, and that's an intentional choice, and we're just going to let it go by. We're just going to stay back and not stand out there. So that's the first thing to remember during Prime Day. It's all about the deals. And then we come to the Cyber 5, you have your Black Friday or Cyber Monday, and that whole week pretty much Amazon just extends it. And it's all about, again, deals and this and that. But generally speaking, Black Friday, Cyber Monday are really good for like electronics or like higher ticket item price, higher ticket price items, things like vacuum cleaners or Instapots and those sorts of things that people actually kind of hold back and say, oh, I'll buy it on Black Friday, oh, Black Friday sales are coming or whatever. So they'll hold back, and it's not something that they need today, right? It's something that it's nice to have. It'll be a nice addition to the house, things like that. If you have products like those and you're planning to run Prime exclusive deals are the best way. I have tested it. They are the best way to get in front of your target audience, because they give you this nice red badge and it says Prime Day deal or Prime exclusive deal. And it's bold. It kind of stands out. So you want to do that for any of these holidays. And then you have the regular holidays. And those products are again different. You need stocking stuffers. If you have any of those types of products, then it's a good one to kind of spruce up your images a little bit. For example, if you look at this brand, they have like the Santa hats and things like that. Suggestive of. It's a Christmas thing, it's a holiday thing, you can give it off as a present. Maybe you can switch out your images, especially the sponsored brand headline images, use ribbons and bows and, sparklies and just little things on your image to make it look more festive. That's what I would say for the holiday season. Right now, it's like Halloween. And so most of the images that we're seeing, they're going to be more orange and more fall and that kind of stuff. So these images can be swapped out pretty easily, and then they can be also reverted back. If you have a VA to help you out, you can do this pretty easily, because sponsored brand headline ads allow you to use a prior image. So you can create a new image, and then you can, once your holidays are done, you switch back to the previous image. So, and then you're all good to go, right? So sprucing up images for the holidays. Then you can also start creating posts. For those of you who are brand registered or plan to be, there's this amazing free way of getting a lot of exposure for free. Who doesn't like free? So these are like, social media posts. They look like social media posts, but they actually show up on product listings on the product detail page. They show up as it's called inspiration from this brand. That's the kind of carousel. It's called that. So when they say inspiration from this brand, you can basically show them a lot of different, ways in which your products can be used. Or like if you want to just do a quick and dirty kind of create hundreds of posts all at once, you can use generative AI. So let me show you an example of that. Okay, and then we'll come back to this last bit. Here's an example of these backgrounds that I created in Canva by just typing in some basic prompt. Like I created this prompt: generate images of palm leaves in fun patterns for a background, dreamy watercolor effect, right? And I just placed my hero image without the background, the white background. I removed it, made it a PNG, and just pasted it on top of these kind of cool images, right? And in no time, I have 3 posts. I can just throw them into my posts and just put up any headline, which I can again use ChatGPT for. I can say, hey, I'm selling 50 square plates that are palm leaf plates. Give me a catchy description or appealing ad. It does it. So we actually do this for our clients. We do posts that are created 100% in ChatGPT. Very easy to do. Very quick to do. And the only requirement Amazon has from posts is that it should be different. Each image should be different. And so this is just changing the background. The foreground remains the same. So you can very quickly get a lot of posts. What we've noticed is that people who post a lot of posts, they start to see some additional free traffic, plus they end up getting a lot more followers. If you have more followers, then you can actually send them what is called there's a internal email marketing tool that Amazon has called Manage Your Customer Engagement. You can find it under brands, I believe. So if you go into brands and then you look for customer engagement, that's where you can see the ability to write emails to your followers. So you can do it like a full circle. You create posts, you get followers, you send them emails and let them know about their products, your products that are upcoming, or even for no reason. You can even say Halloween sale, upcoming Halloween sale or whatever. There's some basic templates that Amazon has, but you can pick from those, make some minor tweaks, and you're good to go, right? So you want to do everything in your power to show up in as many places, whether for free or through ads or whatever. You need more visibility. The bigger your funnel to get people interested in your products, the better it is. That you're maximizing your chance at people clicking and then people buying. So someone asks, can you tell us again where the posts are located? Okay, posts are located within your advertising console. So you go to Campaign Manager, and you will see a heart looking thing on the left. There are these icons. That's where you can access either your stores or your posts. That's where you can set up posts. And then if you haven't created posts ever, it's easy. Just say create post, and it'll give you a little bit of a UI where you can upload an image, you can write up a headline, and you can attach multiple products to that post. So whenever that post is shown on Amazon, it will allow people to scroll through your products that are listed in that post. And that way you can start to see some traction for free. You can also measure that engagement metric later on through the, again, the post UI. It'll give you engagement rates, it'll give you conversion rates, all that good stuff. So it's really cool and it's free. So highly encourage you to check that out. Now, the last thing I have for you, and then we'll wrap up, is again, going back to data. There is this thing under brand analytics. It's called top search terms. And these are all of the search terms on Amazon that they have data for. And you can search through that database, which is amazing. Like, I don't know why people don't use it enough. This is better and free, and it's better than any other tool out there, because this is not based on scraped data. This is actual data, real data, right? So here's how I would encourage you guys. If you've been around for a bit and you have last year's data, let's say you have 2022 data, and even if you don't, as long as you have access to brand analytics, it's fine. So here's what you want to do. You want to select the year as 2022. You're going to select reporting range quarterly. You want to select fourth quarter of last year. Now you want to click on this little filter that says show filter. So it's going to show the filters. And this is where the magic happens. So what you can do is you can type, let's say the top competitors or brands that you're aware of. Let's say you're a makeup brand, and let's say you're Maybelline or something like that. And you want to find out what L'Oreal's top words were in last year's Q4, right? So you can add the brand name here, right? And then just say refine results. It's going to tell you all the words that were prominent for that brand, right? The ones that had those brands in the top 3 most clicked brands, right? All of those words will show up. So it has to be in the top 3, then it shows up those words and it gives you all the data. It also tells you which competitors were also in the race for those keywords or those search terms. Another thing you can do is you can actually type the word gift and look for all the words that are related to gifts that were popular last year in Q4, right? So for example, here I typed gift and I said refine results. So I see gift cards, Amazon gift cards, Christmas. It also tells you the search frequency rank, which is basically a measure of how frequently this word was searched. So that means when it says 7, it was the 7th most searched word on all of Amazon. That's how this is calculated. It's really powerful, right? So if you can see, the smaller the number, the more popular the word. So you can pick those words up and then use all the tricks I showed you today to create headline ads, or if it's related to your product, of course. You can also use those words to put them into your backend. So much stuff. You can do so much with those words. Another thing you can do is you can also type in ASINs here. So let's say you have an access to your top 10 competitors. You can simply drop those up to 100 ASINs right here. Just boom, 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 boom. Add them here and say refine results. It's going to tell you all the search terms that those ASINs were one of the top 3 most clicked products. So that list was going to show up here as well. And so that shows you that these are highly relevant. These are the words you should go for. And it's in the right date range that you're interested in, which is Q4 coming up here. So yeah, so that brings me to the end. I'll just see if there's any questions here. All the charts that you showed available in Seller Central. Yes, all of that all that I showed you today is accessible through Seller Central. All you need is brand registry. Once you have brand registry, you can look up brand analytics. It's going to be under, I think it's under brands again. So I guess that brings me to the end. I don't think I have any other slides, but yeah, this is just letting you know that we have, if you want to connect with me, this is how you can connect with me. We also have a blog if you're interested to learn more, but that's it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see if we have any questions. That's it.
Great stuff. That was really good.
Yeah, two really great insight. It was definitely some gold there. So pretty awesome. Kamal says excellent info. Thank you. ! Yes. This was definitely need to know information from Chad. Awesome. Lori, super helpful. Thank you guys. Chris and Melissa, what's up? Thank you. Yep. Super helpful. This was yep. So pretty awesome. Andrew Clee says thank you. Evan, gold wrap diamond.
That's
like
amazing.
That.
Gold wrap diamond. That's so cool. Thank you.
William says extremely knowledgeable. Andrea, Great info. Thank you. Thanks. It is, yeah, pretty awesome. It just keeps coming in. Let me get to, see if I can keep up with, there we go. Trying to see it all at once. Great info. Yeah, actually, let me, whoops. Trying to see whatever else goes in there. Yeah, that is awesome. And again, this is recorded, right, Joey, for everybody. It will be in their membership area for all of our insider members here. Yep.
Yeah, it takes a day or two. It doesn't go right away. It has to process and be edited and get uploaded. But yes, it will be in there, and you're all going to want to watch this a few times. Yeah, and I always had a notebook when I went through this course, and I just remembered trainings, and then I would get my notebook out and then go through the training again. So this was really, really insightful. Thank you, Ritu. It's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Evan asked question on the email. Those go to all customers?
So there's 4 groups of customers. You can select which customers it's going to go to. So the first group they have is followers, right? So anybody that follows your brand, and the way to follow is for them to click on the plus follow button on your store page or the plus follow button on a post. Those are the 2 ways you can gain followers for your brand. So that's the one section that you can send out emails to. Another one is repeat customers. So if you have enough repeat customers, then you can also reach out to those, because some supplements and those sorts of products, you want people to keep coming back. So you can send emails to those. Then there's 2 more categories. The third one being, I think it is top buyers or something like that. And then the fourth one is recent buyers, anyone who's recently purchased from you. So you can pick one of these 4, and then you can kind of create your email and it sends it to them. That's how it goes out. And because this email is going from Amazon, it's great because they are motivated to send your email to their customers. And you can also see the open rates, the click-through rates, and the engagements later on. You can see that all in the reporting dashboard that's provided with Manage Your Customer Engagement.
Awesome. Cool. Mary says, yeah, I'll definitely watch a few more times. So excellent. Well, I think we're right up just over an hour here, so that's perfect. And Ritu, great having you here. Love it. We look forward to we doing more. Maybe you can come back before the end of the year. And I know we've both talked on the AI topic, so you've got a tons of cool insight. What I like about your stuff is you're always very practical, right? You focus on what people can actually implement and take advantage to apply without having to get, a bunch of different tools and everything else. So there's so much available there. So that was really awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And Ritu, you and I are on the Q4 Mastery Summit later this week.
Yes.
Yes. And everybody, I'll put the link to that in Voxer so you can see what Ritu and I get to speak at. It's a 2-day event, and it's online. So I'll put the link in there for everybody in our private Voxer. Actually, I'll put it in here if everybody wants to hang on. I'm just really slow. I'll put it in Voxer.
Either way. Okay. You can throw it up there. We can throw it in here and we'll just leave
All
it
right.
on
If you guys talk, I'll find it. I just feel bad when I make people wait because I'm slow. I'll find it though.
That's good. And Ritu, what's your next live event?
I actually have a few this week. I can't remember, but it's a few
In person? I mean, in
no,
person.
Oh, so you're talking about in person? My next in person is actually in India. So I'm going to India for the India sourcing trip, I believe, by Megla. So I'll be talking there. And then I'm going to Thailand for the Elite Mastermind. I think that's by Howard Thai. And then I'm going to Sydney, Australia for the South Seller Fest, SSF, which I believe last year was really awesome. Like I heard such good things about it. We actually have a booth there, PPC Ninja does. So yeah, if anybody is, I don't know where people are signing in from, but if anyone is headed to any of these countries, I'll be happy to hang out with you guys and say hello.
So just
So, yeah.
just keep an eye out for you in India, Thailand, and Australia. So all
Yep.
very close to Vancouver, short flights for you, right?
Very short.
Wow, you're gonna get some serious miles you're racking up
Yes.
there. That's
Exactly. Yep.
awesome, cool. So
Yeah,
Joey put
yeah.
the link in there as well too, so you guys can grab the link there as well. Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, good stuff. Thanks everyone, and yeah, look forward to connecting more too. And for everyone in our coaching program, just reach out via Voxer with any help. I know a few of you guys are not in the coaching program. Again, if you're interested in there, you can connect with us and we can discuss that option with you, because we love to build this stuff with you guys. So, but thanks everyone. Yeah, DK, yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks. And again, Ritu, thank you. And Joey put the link in there for everyone as well.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.